How do you pronounce this word? Do you know how to pronounce this word? Give it a try. How would you pronounce it? You're wrong. And right. Because this word has two meanings, and the pronunciation changes depending on which meaning it is. Okay, so the first meaning of this word is to continue something. Okay, to continue something. For example, let's say you're watching a movie and you need to use the bathroom. Then you need to pause. You take your remote control, right? This is called a remote control, and you press the pause button on the remote to stop the movie, right? Then you go to the bathroom. Then after you're finished, you press the play button on the remote to resume the movie. Okay, so you paused it, then you resume it. So to resume means to continue something. Okay, resume. So this word has the stress on the second syllable. Resume, resume. Okay, it has a long U. Resume. And this S changes to a Z sound. Resume. Okay? Because usually words that have an E at the end make this vowel in this position a long vowel, right? That's sort of a general rule in English. If we took this away, then it would be resume. Resume. Because this E is here, this one turns to a long sound. Resume. Okay? So that's the first meaning. But there's another meaning. Okay? Resume. Resume. What is a resume? Well, a resume is a document that you use to apply for a job. Okay, so if you're applying for a job, they'll probably ask you, please send us your resume. Okay, if you don't have a resume, then you need to make a resume. Now, a resume is often called a CV. A CV. In most countries around the world, I think this is much more common than the word resume. But here in Canada, resume is much more common than CV. Actually, I had never heard the word CV before I think I was in college. The first time I ever heard the term CV. Okay, it stands for curriculum vitae or something like that. Most people probably don't know. It's not important. It's just CV. Okay, but this one is much more popular in Canada. Resume. Resume. So in this one, this is a noun. The first one was a verb. Resume is a verb, right? Like you resume watching the movie. You could say, I'm going to resume watching the movie. But this one is a noun, which means that the stress is on the first syllable. A lot of times, if a word can be a verb or a noun, in a verb, the stress is on the second syllable, and in the noun, the stress is on the first syllable. So this is a good example of that. Okay, resume, resume. Now, this U is actually short. It's not long. Resume. A. Why is it A at the end? Do you know why it's an A at the end? Resume. Well, actually, it's because this word with this meaning is not even an English word. It's a French word. It looks like this. So you could also write it like this. Okay. Now, the reason we don't write it like this most of the time is because we don't have these symbols on our keyboard. Okay. So I don't know how to make this. How do you make this? Do you know how to make this on your keyboard? I have no idea. I copied and pasted this word from Google because I don't know how to make it on my keyboard. Okay, so English often steals words from other languages, right? most of English is just stolen words. It's sort of funny. English steals words from German, from Spanish, from Latin, from French, probably even from Russian. I don't know if we have any words stolen from Russian, but probably, because English is such a crazy language. It just takes words from everywhere. But anyway, this is a resume. It's a document that you use to apply for your job. Okay, that's why this last sound is A. Resume. Resume. Okay, but like I said, we just spell it most of the time like this, without those little marks. Those things are called accent marks. Okay, hey, if you want more quick pronunciation tips like this one, I'd be so happy if you subscribe to my channel right down there. Okay, so I want to know, have you ever embellished anything on your resume? Have you ever embellished anything on your resume? What does this word here mean? Embellished. Embellished means sort of to exaggerate something. Almost to lie. Well, yeah, maybe even to lie about something on your resume. Okay, not really a lie, but maybe you just maybe you say it in a way that's not really true. It doesn't really describe your experience or your personality. Okay, usually a resume has some different parts. It has personal strengths, where you talk a little bit about your personality, your personal characteristics. And then you talk about your education, all the degrees you have, the colleges, universities you went to. Then you talk about your work experience. From 2004 to 2006, I worked at this job. Then from 2006 to 2008, I worked at this job, okay? Then you probably will have some volunteer experience. Maybe not. If you're a good person, you should do some volunteering. Okay, volunteer means to work for free somewhere, to help out, maybe at a charity, a school, just anywhere, okay? So with personal strengths, very often people just put down anything. They Google how to write a resume, and then they just copy things from what they find on Google, okay? They might put this: good teamwork, excellent communication, creative problem solving. Okay, they just put these things to make themselves look good, when really they might not be very good at communication. They might not be good at teamwork or working in a team, right? They might not have good problem solving skills. So that's what we would describe as embellishment. It's the resume is looking better than reality. They're embellishing their own strengths. So I want to know, have you ever embellished things on your resume? Personally, I have. I've used teamwork on my resume before. Excellent team player. When really, to be honest with you, I work best when I'm completely alone. I work okay in a team, I can get along, but for me to really use my strengths to their full ability, I work best when I'm completely alone. So if I put team player or good teamwork on my resume, that's a little bit of an embellishment. But I don't know, how about you? Have you ever embellished anything on your resume? Let me know down there in the comments, and I'll see you over in the next episode of Mad English TV. Take care.